Hello everybody, welcome back to this Severe Tropical Update for September 17th. We're currently watching Severe Tropical Storm Fiona located in the northeastern Caribbean Sea, making its way towards Puerto Rico and the Dominican Republic, as well as an area of interest located over the Central Atlantic, which we won't talk much about. We also have Tropical Storm Lesser about to make landfall along the Mexican coast. Not many big impacts are expected there. However, due to Fiona, we do have storm surge possible 1 to 3 feet throughout Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands. Rainfall well into the 12 to 18 inches range possible over portions of Puerto Rico, perhaps far eastern Dominican Republic as well as hurricane force winds possible along the areas in orange, diminishing impacts as you head out in color down into the yellow, green, and blue categories. We also retain the blue minimal risk up for Bermuda from the previous area of interest we talked about yesterday. With Fiona now in Bermuda's potential future, it's worth noting. So let's talk a little more about Fiona. Here it is, a much better looking storm than yesterday, much more vertically stacked. That is, the convection, the rain, the black and white on this image, and even the red is more aligned with where the center of the storm's at. And what that means is the rain is actually near the center of the storm, which means the storm can strengthen better. It isn't as prone to the mountains of the Dominican Republic, for example. And so a much better looking, much healthier looking system today. Lots of outflow. You see all that cirrus, those lighter white clouds on the outside periphery of the storm. Very clearly a healthy severe tropical storm Fiona today. Tropical storm watch is in effect for the southern coast of the Dominican Republic. Perhaps later today we'll see watches in effect for portions of the southeastern Bahamas and Turks and Caicos. Tropical storm warning in effect for much of the Dominican Republic coast, as well as the U.S. and British Virgin Islands. And some of the Leeward Islands still have tropical storm warnings in effect. Expect those to be dropped soon. There's a hurricane watch in effect now for the U.S. Virgin Islands, as well as the east coast of Hispaniola. That same area, the Dominican Republic, that has the tropical storm warning is under a hurricane watch. A hurricane warning is now in effect for Puerto Rico. We are also expecting significant rainfall associated with this storm. 4 to 6 inches across much of the area in or near the cone, as well as increased amounts along the east coast of the Dominican Republic, and significantly more, likely over a foot over much of Puerto Rico, perhaps up to 1.5 feet in the south and western portions of Puerto Rico due to Fiona. Again, Fiona likely to strengthen into a hurricane before nearing or making landfall on Puerto Rico, and nearing and landing or making landfall on the Dominican Republic, moving out to sea just to the east of the Bahamas and heading off towards Bermuda. We'll talk more about that track here shortly. Again, here's the storm surge graphic from the Hurricane Center. Up to 3 feet of storm surge on the south side of Puerto Rico, as well as portions of the U.S. Virgin Islands. So it's worth noting that we could see impacts there. Current wind speed at 60 miles an hour. That's expected to increase into a hurricane here within the next day or so. Some models have this thing strengthening and continuing to strengthen as it makes its way near Puerto Rico, the Dominican Republic, and getting very close to the Turks and Caicos and southeastern Bahamas as potentially a major hurricane. Now, the Hurricane Center forecast at this point does not have the storm that strong, but it does have a significant impact associated with it, a strong hurricane at the very least, making its way through Puerto Rico, the Dominican Republic, perhaps some extraneous impacts to the Turks and Caicos and Bahamas, and then later on Bermuda is definitely in the picture for this storm. We're also watching the area of interest over the Central Atlantic, only a 20% chance of formation, not a huge deal there. The European ensemble is caving to the GFS more or less. We still have a suite of about 5 to 10 models that bring the storm straight and into Florida and the rest of the Bahamas. If it doesn't do that, and that's seeming to be the increasing consensus here, is that the storm will go on the south edge of Puerto Rico, then the northeast edge of the Dominican Republic, get very close to the Bahamas here, and then make its way up and just to the north of Bermuda as a very strong hurricane, perhaps even a major hurricane. That's reflected as well by the GFS. Again, an outside chance that the storm makes its way to South Florida, the Bahamas, but the most likely possibility at this time is that the storm makes its way near Puerto Rico, the Dominican Republic, just away from the Bahamas and Turks and Caicos, and then up towards Bermuda and very, very close to it. So we need to be watching the future of Fiona very, very closely over the next few days, mainly in the next day or two over Puerto Rico, the Dominican Republic. And then after that, we really need to watch where the storm is going to go, which at this point is likely towards the Bahamas and Florida. And then after that, we need to be watching Bermuda as well if it doesn't head towards Florida, which is becoming the consensus, is that Bermuda is the main target long term of Fiona. So again, Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, hurricane conditions possible over the next few days. That's all for now. Chris Info, Catholic Media.